Welcome back to Horrid Wizard and Friends. The
Evening.
the podcast of what now? I don't even know what we're the podcast of. Are we the podcast of midlife crises? That would be probably the right thing to be.
We had to take a sabbatical, and in that sabbatical, we become very famous.
Is the sabbatical by any chance related to the Sabbath?
Might be.
The reason I ask is this reminds me of a tweet I saw the other day, because obviously this past month it's been the month of Ramadan, and I saw a tweet from Sadiq Khan, the Muslim mayor of London, and as you can imagine, the comments under his tweets tend to be of a certain flavor, shall we say. I wouldn't say they are made by Nazis.
Is that poppadom flavor by any chance?
Yeah. I wouldn't say they're made by Nazis, but perhaps they're the kind of people that thought it wasn't all bad under those people. But yeah, so somebody was saying that, look, he's done an iftar event in Trafalgar Square, and it was attended, quite well attended by members of the community, members of quite a number of communities actually. And people sort of went a bit mad, saying, well, he should have, he does this for the Muslims. Why didn't he do this for Easter? And then it had to be pointed out that he had actually arranged, and he had tweeted similarly on Easter Sunday, he had actually arranged a 20,000 attended, was it Easter play in Trafalgar Square that was attended by many, many more people. But unfortunately, today, because he's done this, he's attending a weed farm in California today. Here he is looking at some leaves, because he's thinking of legalizing it, because obviously you can't just, you can't just put all of the young brown and black people in jail. So he's thinking,
I can hear Streatham and Peckham whooping in happiness. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, great crosser of the ball he was. But anyway, how are you, Babar? Did you have a good break? It's nice to see you, man.
That was a flipping long introduction, man. I mean, I guess you've been saving up these words, haven't you?
Oh, Babar, you need to see what I've got on this paper. We won't even get through half of this today.
I actually haven't got anything, but because I've had a very busy day, and literally just walking in through the doors every time something happens. I got to go out, come back in, go out, come back in. So I've had a wonderful walk, and during that walk, I've come up with a lot of things to talk about.
Is it your community? Is it your neighborhood watch walk? Is this what you're talking about? This is not some casual walk that a normal person would take. This is the sad walk that you do with fellow residents, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was good fun today. Just about made it, to be fair. But yeah, it was good fun.
You make it sound like people set dogs upon you guys as you walk around in your high-vis jackets. Is that what happens?
No. It's actually good fun. We're getting a lot of fans on the street saying, "Oh, is this the neighborhood watch? Is it?" I said, "Yes."
Do you sort of go around tearing up people's planning applications and then sort of throwing the pieces of paper on their faces like confetti?
Well, a couple of my colleagues will be like, "Oh, this is going for an extension there. I'm planning for that."
Flag that up, I suppose.
Yes, I suppose. Anyway, moving on. Have you been busy?
Oh God, your internet connection's gone shit again. Forgot about this phenomenon. You're back now. Are you back? Say something.
Oh man, you know why?
Is somebody using the internet? Is it like the hot and cold taps in people's homes? If somebody's using it elsewhere, it reduces the sort of amount that you get in your room. Is that correct? Flipping lost him. Let's wait now like this till he comes back. I can't be asked to edit this out, so we'll just have to sort of wait here. Yeah, viewers, you can wait with me if you want. I need to put some kind of incidental music in this place to fill it. I probably will have to edit this bit now. It's gone on a bit too long. Oh gosh.
That was planned. You know what happened there? Like a G, I decided to stream the football right next to me, and it was killing the bandwidth. So I apologize for that. I have been having an argument with OpenReach and BT this week.
God, man, you know what? We already come across as old fogies now, and by you sort of saying this, it's a little bit like me saying I need to reseed my lawn. Oh, I've lost him again. We may not get a show out today, you know. Hello, sir. Lovely to have you back with us.
Hello there.
Absolute failure. You know what? This is the last. This is literally third strike and you're out. Yeah, this is your last warning.
It should be fairly stable now because I'm tethering off my phone.
What a flipping tragedy. And by the way, viewer, I've been to his house, and I've been to his house under 3 different major mobile networks, and I've never had reception. So he can't even get a wireless signal, let alone the wired one.
Never. It's just the bane of my life. I've been fighting with OpenReach this week, telling them not to tell their distributors to phone me and say, good news, fiber is available in your area. And I'm like, no, it isn't. I'll find that.
The only fiber available in your house is the one that you shit out in the toilet every morning.
Yes, that's the only, and it's full of fiber, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's nice. But, you know, it's not going to increase your internet connection bandwidth, is it?
You know, if I was to have that as the cable coming into my house.
Oh, yeah, that's steel wire armored, that is.
That's excellent. There'll be a stable connection right there.
So yeah, go on. Do you want to tell me about your internet woes, or do you want me to run through a few things that might have been missed?
Allow the internet. I think that live demonstration was good enough.
Yeah, I think people have grasped what's happening. So, okay, so a few things that were missed, which I've got here on my page of notes. I think we had the local elections recently.
Did you vote? Did you vote?
Yeah, I did vote. But I mean, I'm in a Tory stronghold, as you know, so my vote was kind of wasted. But anyway, yeah, there were quite a number of brown people who have suddenly emerged, maybe inspired by Tiger Patel, emerged as Tory candidates for local councillors.
Yes.
And what I realized, which I didn't know actually, because there haven't been that many examples, is that I think it's conclusive now that brown Tories are just as bad as the white ones.
Yeah, well, there was a couple just, what you call it, they were trying to convince me to vote for them as I walked in to the polling station. And his biggest sell, I would say, was, you know, when the storm happened, didn't it? And the trees fell down and the police never came to pick it up. Me and the candidate, we picked it up. We phoned the council. We told them to pick it up. I said, all right, then you got my vote.
Was he a Tory?
Yeah, he was Tory. Standing.
So on the basis that on the basis that the council are so terrible that they won't pick up fallen trees, and he picked it up, he thought he could secure it.
I live in a very strong Labour area. Let's just put it that way.
Birmingham, basically.
Yeah.
See, when he said that, did you sort of wave your hand around at your surroundings and say, 12 years of you lot, can you explain the rest of this? Very well done on the trees.
Well, he had this thing about the central government, and you need to think about, forget central government, that's always going to be there. You need to think about local issues, and, you know, central government will always be, and they'll do, and they don't really give a shit about, you know, the locals issues. And I said, you know, shut up, man. Let me go and vote.
So he was basically discrediting central government in order to get your vote for the same party.
Absolutely.
Sounds logical. Sounds like the kind of thing that could win votes. Well, look, another important thing that happened is that there was a memorial service for Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip.
Legend in my eyes.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, one of the highlights for me is when they brought a black woman to talk about opportunity from the Duke of Edinburgh award scheme. That was quite interesting. I thought that was a nice gesture, I think. Prince Philip would have liked that.
I wonder what highlight reel they must have played as she was talking. I mean, because he has many.
Yeah, he does have a lot of. He does have, yeah. The other thing that was interesting in that particular service was that the Dean of Windsor gave it, and this, you know, I always have a quote of somebody. So this is the quote for today. The Dean of Windsor said,
"Of course you do, my friend." He
said about Prince Philip, like the rest of us, he was part of flawed humanity. Okay, so far so good. Unlike most of us, however, he was one of those rare people who remained true to and guided by what you might call an inner spiritual compass. So that's the Dean of Windsor just telling everybody that Prince Philip was somehow better than all of us. So I think we should all clap our hands in tribute, but I think we should maybe shit on our hands first and then clap them. That would be probably more appropriate to do. Another scary thing that happened, Babar, is that we've had our second person subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon, so that when we publish this, I kid you not, they will actually get a notification. I mean,
this sad individual.
I'm weeping for them, but this has actually happened. They're a real person. So that's 2 people that I know about who have done this now.
Well, that's awesome. Just as good as your competition that you started this week.
There's a suspected third. Yeah. There's a suspected third. The other thing, Barbara, the really good news is that, as far as I can tell, the war, the war between Russia and Ukraine.
Oh yes, that.
So that's finished now. It's all over. It's been displaced, luckily, by people just sitting in their homes and eating popcorn and watching clips of Johnny Depp's trial against Amber Heard. Apparently, that's the only thing that's happening now. And despite it being a very serious trial.
Can you just excuse me for a moment? I need to go and shit next to my partner on the bed.
Yeah, just go and do that and then blame it on the pet, whatever pet you have, even if it's a goldfish. But yeah, despite it being quite a disturbing case involving a fair amount of actual abuse, people are somehow just binge watching this like it's some kind of soap opera. But that's displaced, everything else. It's even displaced various parties that have been happening at number 10. And I think if you're gonna watch and binge watch, you could say clips of a defamation case. Maybe the one that you should choose is Rebecca Vardy versus Colleen Rooney, because that is the one that is frivolous enough for you to actually maybe watch and enjoy. There's a number of things happening here in which I think today Rebecca Vardy's defense was that she hadn't read the WhatsApp messages that the lawyers were reading out in court.
Oh, what a shame.
But they were reading the messages that she had written. So she actually said that she hadn't read them, even though she wrote them. That was the other one, was when she denied, and this is all under oath, obviously, in the High Court, and they're paying like £1 million each to do this.
Under oath is so overrated. Sorry, it's so overrated. So overrated.
And then she had to be reminded that she was sitting in the witness box in the court of law, in the highest court, by all means, because she was just saying that she can't remember and she didn't do something, and she denied something. After which it was read out, a message was read out from her agent, and you know what the message was? It was 3 words. The words were, "It was me." So this apparently detracted from her case. Bear in mind that she's the one who's actually bringing this case against Rooney. So she's brought a case to the High Court, paid about £1 million, which she doesn't have a hope of getting back, and is now lying against herself in the evidence box. So if you want to watch something interesting, then I would suggest that one rather than Johnny Depp's case, which actually involves quite sad abuses.
I don't know what to say about your little montage just then. I mean, all I could think of was the Bentley Bentegas and the Range Rover Sports parked outside the courtroom.
I think nowadays, haven't they upgraded to like Lamborghini Uruses, which is, I don't really like the name, but
Fucking hell, you can't even get a good court case. I mean, give us an O.J. Simpson, Michael Jackson trial any day of the week.
O.J. Simpson, Michael Jackson trial? They're not against each other. You mean just like
no, just generally, just one of those type, with actual, suspense and thriller and a script.
Did you just say suspense and thriller? Was that some kind of Freudian slip there?
I didn't even.
Also, just to remind you that if you thought this was bad, I mean, watching those cases for entertainment when there's actually like children alleging terrible abuses, I think, or murder, like I wouldn't necessarily say that they're entertaining in that way.
The word there was allege, so allegedly.
Okay, right, yes.
And I'll have you know that Johnny Cochran is a very good lawyer, and he got the brothers off.
He did get both of them acquitted of all charges.
But anyway, Babar, I just want to say it's been a very long year, and really could do with
What do
the
you mean? It's
break.
not even halfway through the year. What's happened to you, man?
It's been long, man. It's too long. I need a
It's
break.
May. It's early May.
So I've got this really, really good idea of looking for
Okay,
new.
can you stop rubbing your eyes, the sleep from your eyes, when you're saying I've got this really good idea, because it's reducing my enthusiasm for your idea.
So basically, I want to go somewhere nice, hot, warm.
That's the idea. Eh?
And I just watched the Arsenal game, and I had.
So hang on a minute. Sorry, you want to go somewhere nice, hot, and warm? You're not talking about arseholes again, are you, Babar?
Yes. No, I'm not.
Right.
What did I say? Yes, there. So I just
This
watched a bit of the
sorry, hang on.
Arsenal
Let's
game.
just go into incognito mode
Yeah,
so that people know.
incognito mode. So I just watched the Arsenal game, and I thought I had this sudden.
Oh, I was right.
Of wanting to visit Rwanda, and I'm partial to a bit of genocidal warts. So let's book our flights out there.
Okay, so this is the standard of punning that's going to be happening now.
Huh? Because just a couple of weeks ago, I managed to see some of the hospitality that the Rwandan government are providing for these new citizens that they will be welcoming.
Are you going to be the Pakistani ambassador to Kigali? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. So. And let's just put it this way: genocidal warts looks like a staple when you're living there.
There was an interview with, because some other countries have done this. They've sent people to Rwanda, or people have somehow ended up in Rwanda. There was an interview with a Yemeni guy who had just ended up there, and he had started some kind of business, and he was saying it's really nice here and I'm really enjoying it, but he was saying it in the kind of way, you know how like the president what's his name? I'll have to Google it.
Uqbah.
No, don't be racist now. Come on, this is going out on the internet.
I don't know his name. I thought it was Pogba.
No, Paul Kagame is his name.
Yeah, there you go.
You know how he's just like suspiciously been democratically elected for the past like 25 years. It was that kind of like where the Yemeni asylum seeker seemed a little bit too happy with his lot. You know, I thought to myself, well, maybe you're being encouraged to say this, but let's just see if we send enough people there, and then we can go and see how they're doing.
Or maybe he was saying it while he could see the sniper from about a mile away aiming at him directly.
Yeah, I think that was the incident yesterday, where some yeah, I was talking about how, because every now and then Israel will kill a journalist. This is a
yes, I read about that.
Yeah, the problem with the journalist they killed yesterday is she's an American Christian. So although she was a Palestinian journalist, I think it's the wrong kind of Palestinian journalist to be killing, and that's why it seems to have been getting a bit of coverage in the press as well. But yeah, it was somebody was talking about Greg Norman's golf tournament that he's trying to do with the Saudi, and they brought up the killing of the journalist there, Jamal Khashoggi, the assassination of that journalist. And I thought to myself, you know what, that is probably the hallmark of an oppressive regime, topping journalists randomly.
Well, it's the only kind, to be fair. If you're going to be an oppressive regime, then you got to kill a journalist or two.
Yeah. Any news on your side, Babar? I've got a nice quote here. I don't know if you want to hear it.
Any news from my side? Something going on that I don't know about.
I don't know, man, because basically at about 5 o'clock this evening, you said you're gonna probably try and take a shit and make some notes as you normally do before the show. Have you?
I really didn't have a chance because I didn't get out of work.
You haven't even got any scenarios for me to
I've got a scenario, yeah, very, very poignant scenario. Would you rather park your car on a dropped curb and block everybody from mounting the driveway that belongs to you, or would you rather, just mount your car on half on the curb or half on the road and not give a shit about anybody while you go into a coffee shop and have a coffee and chat to your friends from a certain region of the world and not give a shit about what's going on at your, in your own home or what's going on outside?
Whew. Right. Okay. Sorry. Has the scenario finished? Is there? Was that just one half of it? What was the other? Would you rather do that, all of that?
No. Or would you just rather park in front of a drop curb?
Okay. I mean, I'm thinking this is a highly personal scenario to you, and my conclusion from this is I think you did end up having to go and vote Conservative after all, because they're the only party that's kind of indicating that they'll get rid of these people. Is that right?
for the first time, no, not for the first time actually. For probably the third time in my voting history, I have voted Tories because of these things.
Right. Okay. Well, you're dead to me
And
now.
more, yes, more than likely, I'll be moving to your neighborhood very soon.
Well, Babar, I don't think that they will approve you to buy a house here. So,
Oh, really?
it's not quite the right shade, Babar. But there are creams for that, so it's okay. Anyway, shall we finish off with a lovely quote that I found, which might be right up your street, seeing as we've been talking about this stuff.
Go ahead.
A philosopher, I actually shared this with you earlier this week, so it's not a surprise to you. A philosopher asked a Bedouin, "Shall I reveal to you 3 acts by which you will be loved by everyone?" The Bedouin responded, "No."